I want to give you people a very simple task. As I come back, I'm going to take on a few minutes. I need two people. One gentleman, one lady, for a very simple exercise. For those who really understood the morning session, to help other people to understand the recap that we did. Then when I come back in a few minutes, in less than 10 minutes, then we can go to continue from there. Is up for the task? Who is up for the task? You can raise your hand. One gentleman, one lady. We have Anthony. Lady. Don't know if this is a lady. Hello, hello guys.
Hello, Dadan.
Okay, you're audible. The other person, the name is difficult. I don't know if I'm hungry enough. Okay, Chamain, Chamain. Hello.
Hi, I think I raised my hand by mistake.
Okay, let us get another lady. Sorry for that. A lady. Angela, where are you? And I'm not seeing your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, I need you guys to have a very simple task of previewing learners on what you've learned. Collaborate with Anthony. In a short while, you can also share your screen and let me see if you are able to. Let me promote you to panelist. Let me promote you to panelist. You can share your screen. It's a good exercise for peer-to-peer learning. It's not that I'm going far, I'm just around here. I just want to say before I enter to the next session, you can join in as panelist. Anthony, if you're able to. Angela, are you able to? Okay, good. You have joined. You can unmute. Might as well
Yes,
share your
I'm
screen.
okay.
You might as well share your screen and collaborate with Anthony. Let's see how you guys perform on that. I'm here in case of any other question. I'll be monitoring. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. I'm at work, so I'm not taking a break or anything. I just want to see, did you people get the point? Are other people able to understand from your perspective as we brush off to enter into the next session? Kindly. Anthony,
Okay,
Angela?
Anthony, over to you. Let me listen to you first. Though while we're still trying, because I'm still trying to go over the morning lessons again so that it can stick. But what I can actually do on this section is I can help those who are still having issues, because I know a lot of people reached out to me in boss. They're saying they're still having connection error on MongoDB. So I don't know if those ones are available right now. We can just utilize this opportunity to get, over with it, because I know that if people are still having problems with MongoDB connection, moving forward will be very, very difficult. So if you're having issues with MongoDB, I mean, within few minutes, I can just share my screen and show you how I was able to resolve mine. Perhaps it will help. Then as for the morning session, Anthony, if you're well grounded in it, trust me, I'll be so glad to learn from you. Okay?
Okay, Angela. Okay, maybe we can approach it like this. You first brief them about MongoDB, and then I'll jump into React so that we can connect from me to Dedan as we continue with the lesson.
Okay, is that okay enough? Guys, can I see your reaction? My screen is different now, and if that's okay enough, I can just go ahead. All right, that's a thumbs up. Okay, so while I was trying to, when I installed MongoDB the first time, it worked well, but then I shut down, and when I came back, when I turned on my system, I started having those errors. It took me quite some time, but with constant research here and there, I was able to understand that when my MongoDB shut down, one, it had no backup, right? So most of the databases I've created were not backed up. And again, the database path that is, where all the data is supposed to be stored are not also, it is not backed up, so it has been deleted. So the reason for that connection error is when MongoDB, tries to connect, because when it's trying to connect, it's, checking to make sure that everywhere. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, right? I just want to do a little bit of explanation. Now, it's making sure that everything that it needs to work with are working well. All the should I call it variables or components that it needs to work with are working well, including the path that is where it is supposed to store its data, right? So what did I do after so much research? Okay, what I first of all did, because reinstalling and uninstalling does not fix the problem. So what I did is I first of all, after uninstalling, after discovering the problem, now I had to do this. Let me, at this point, this is where I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm clicking share, still waiting for it to come up. And I'm just going to share my entire screen. Yeah, I'm just going to share my entire screen to make it easy. Guys, please tell me when you can see my screen from your end. Excuse me. Guys can, okay, that's a thumbs up. Okay, so I am currently on my desktop now, right? Now, after uninstalling MongoDB, this is what I did. I first of all went into my hard drive. How do I get to my hard drive? From my PC, then to my local drive. And in my local drive, when you download any application, it usually stores in program files, right? So what I noticed in all of these whole adventure is this. Now, when I uninstall MongoDB from my system, you see this MongoDB folder here, which automatically creates the very first time I installed MongoDB. It does not delete, it remains there. And it not only remains there, it remains there with every of the files that is inside of it. It remains there. That is my personal observation, right? So because it remains there, the new installation will not put the default files that do not have any corruption or obstruction in it, right? And that is why reinstalling does not fix the problem. So after reinstalling, what I did is I came here, I came to this, my program files, and I deleted this folder. Of course, when you right click, you're going to see delete. I deleted it completely from my system. Now, if you check, you're going to see MongoDB database. That's, I believe you can see my cursor, MongoDB database tools, Windows time. Now, this very folder is the folder that contains some of the tools that MongoDB needs to work perfectly well, especially the MongoDump file, which is the backup file of MongoDB, right? I discovered that during my research, and of course, I went ahead to download it. Now, when you download this, unlike this one, that the moment you download, while the installation, that is the Windows installer, the MongoDB Windows installer stays in your downloads. This folder automatically creates here. That's the MongoDB folder. But this very one, when you download that as a zip file, it stays in your downloads, and then you have to extract that file. And after extracting the file, or the folder rather, I then brought it here. I brought it to my program files myself, and I pasted it here. Now, when you download MongoDB, one thing you need to do is this: you need to add it to your system variables. Because if you don't add it to your system variables, it will be very difficult for it to work with your CMD, that's your command prompt. So how do you add to your system variable? You see, we're still inside the program file. So all we need to do is come here, click, open it, then open this version. Then this bin file, or the bin folder rather. When you open the bin folder, you take your cursor here, and copy the path, the path that is the bin folder path. I think Control C is what usually works here. So I will Control C it. Then I will just search for my environment variables here. Excuse me. Environment variables. Yeah. What am I typing? Environments. Variables. Okay, so this is it. Edit environment variables. I'll just click on it. And let me take this away from my screen. When you come here, you notice that this upper part is the user variables. That's like, the user of the system. Like if you're using a Windows laptop, you have a OneDrive account, and then this is it. So what you're looking for is this system variables. When you come to this system variables, you click on path. When you click on the path, yeah, it's supposed to highlight my edits. I don't know why it's not coming up. So just, I don't know if it is because I have my screen shared on, but when you click on this path, no, that's not it. When you click on the path, it's supposed to show the edits. The edits is supposed to highlight. So I'm just going to go over that again. I don't know why the edit part did not. This edit here is supposed to be highlighted. And once it is highlighted, I'll just open it, right? When I open it, I'm not sure why it is not opening up. I don't know if it is because I'm sharing my screen, but I don't know. But I know that when I am not sharing my screen, it usually does. But I want to also believe that during the time we did the foundational courses, that is when I got introduced to, adding program files or the being part of any software we downloaded into our environment variables. So I want to believe that none of us are having issues with this. When you click on this path, this edit here is supposed to be highlighted just like this one is. Of course, I'm not working with the user variables, so I won't even go there. Then when you open it, you're going to see different menu options like new and all that. So you click on that new, and then it gives you a dialog box where you're going to paste that bin path of the software you've copied inside of it. And when you do, you just okay everything, and that's it. Now for the Mongo dump, I did the same thing as well. That is the Mongo dump. I had to do the same thing, this Mongo dump. Remember, when you download this Mongo dump, it is going to be here. This is it here. This is the Mongo dump. It's going to download as a zip folder. In fact, according to the research I made, when you're downloading it, make sure you download the zip folder. Then when you do, I extracted it here in my download folder. Just right click and then choose extract here, and it's going to extract in your download folder, and then just copy. I decided to cut it because I don't want one thing littering in everywhere in my system. So I decided to cut it, and then I went to my system program files and I pasted it. That is why I have it here. And then I did the same thing, which is, copying the bin path, right? Once you put here, you do Control C. I copy the bin path, and I also went to my system environment variables to paste it. Now, when I did that, that is at the new installation, all my MongoDB problems got fixed. Now, even when, before the problem got fixed, while I was still looking for a reason why it was giving errors, and it told me it's because the database path is no longer functioning. I think there was something I checked here that should be in, I don't know, maybe it's the other program files, where there is a folder where I have data. Yeah, let me check. Maybe it's this other path. Okay, program data should be here. Not getting that very part where you have the MongoDB, the DB path. Yeah, so after that, ahead, this is it. This is the data. You guys can see, right? Data still in the same folder. Yeah, data here. So this path now, it was missing initially, and that was part of the reason I was having, those errors occurring and all that. And according to the research, what happened was when I shut down my system, because it was hanging, I had to use power button to just shut it down. MongoDB was still open, so this path got deleted in error. Is the tutor trying to communicate to me?
Yeah, I believe you should be winding up on MongoDB.
Okay, yeah, I've rounded up. So I noticed that this part was not there, so I had to create it. I used command prompt to create it, and if you check, you're going to see all this wire, tiger, blah blah blah. They are all from MongoDB. So that's the problem. So if you're still having issues with MongoDB and you do this, please, if you uninstall, remember to come and delete the MongoDB folder so that when you're reinstalling, it is coming back afresh without any of those other data that was having errors and all that. And then when you do, also check to see that this path, DB path, has already been created inside your data folder. And where do you find this data folder? Remember, it is inside your local drive, from this PC to local drive, and then just all the folders inside your local drive. That is where you have it. So this should fix your issues with MongoDB. Thank you so much for the opportunity to put my co-learners through this. I think at this point I'm done. So Anthony, over to you. You can just let us on what you did or how you're able to put us through with the morning session.
Thank you so much, Angela. We really appreciate. This is well noted. Anthony, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Angela. We'll just dive straight into whatever we're doing today morning, React. I think I'll begin by maybe setting up an app because that is maybe the most basic thing we can do. So I'll start by sharing my screen, then you'll comment whether it's visible enough. Uh, okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. The first thing we'll do is set up an app, a React app, but maybe we can start by maybe knowing what is React. React, as Dedan said, is not a framework. It is a JavaScript library, and we'll be using React together with Vite, and we'll have lastly JSX. JSX is JavaScript X XML. I hope you remember those definitions from the morning class. Uh, so I'll begin by setting up a project according to what we did in the morning. So I'll just set it up on my desktop. So you can, okay. So the first command is, you can use npm, or you can use this pnpm for the sake of maybe saving your storage. So let's use pnpm to create a Vite app. Create Vite at latest. Then you'll put in the name of the app. For mine, and let me go to my folder where I place all my Manstack documents. So I'll cd to Manstack. This I'll create. Let me create a directory here. mkdir. What I'm doing is creating a directory where I'll perform the catch up of this lesson that we did in the morning. mkdir. Let me call it catch up. So here is where we'll place our app. So we come and run this command, pnpm create void at least this. Then let me call it my app, just for the sake of demonstration. From here, you can actually decide. You remember when the instructor told us you can either flag uh, the framework that you want to use, the library that you want to use, right from the start. So you can either flag it here and say uh, template React, or you can choose to select it from after creating the app. You can choose to select it from here. You see, you can either use vanilla, Vue, React, Preact, Lead, and all those. But for this, we are supposed to use React. So you use your cursor down and select React, then enter. From here, you select a variant. You can see that there's TypeScript with SWC, JavaScript, and all those. We also have Redwood, but for the purpose of this lesson, as illustrated in the morning, we'll either use JavaScript or JavaScript with SWC. The meaning of SWC is Speedy Web Compiler. It's for compiling. It's basically for compiling your. I think he said components. If I'm not so wrong. If I'm wrong, you can correct me on the chat. So we'll select JavaScript with Speedy Web Compiler and hit enter. So the next step after selecting the compiler, we will now install the dependencies that we need for our project. You can use pnpm install or npm install, but let's use pnpm because I had already installed those. Pnpm install. I have an error here. Oh, there is a problem. I never cd'd into my app. After selecting all those, you need to cd into your app or enter inside your app. So I'll cd inside my app that I created like that. Then I run that command again. You can see the purpose of pnpm. It saves a lot of space because now we'll not be downloading any dependencies. We'll be using the one that are already inside our machine. So far, so good. If maybe you have any questions so far, maybe you can ask and see how. Someone is saying that I should zoom my screen. Okay, let me expand the bash. Let me expand the bash like that. I think we are good now. So after installing our our dependencies, we can now go inside and see what we have in our app. You can see we already have our project there, our app with everything that we need. So that is one way you can approach this. In my research, I can actually show you another simpler way to set up your app. This is outside what we were taught in the morning, but it's still the same thing. Before I go to that, I'll first run this project and see what we have on our browser. Yeah. Run dev. So that it can take us to our localhost and actually have something to work with. So it has given us a port 5173. That is the port that it has allocated. So I'll just copy and maybe rush. and there is our app. So that is how you set up an app. I have another way after my research, or before I go to that, maybe any question? Mocheko is saying that I get some errors when I do PNPM run dev. Have you installed the PNPM using npm? As you all know that you first have to install PNPM using npm. Have you done that, Mocheko? Yeah, Isaac is asking what is the error. Maybe you can paste the error there and see what is the what error you are encountering on that side. You can see how to help you before we jump straight into the class. Mochoko, just paste the error or CD into the correct folder into the app. Thank you, Lucille Makachia. She's saying that you should CD into your project. As you can see, I also encountered an error because I was not inside the app. So you should first CD, change directory into your app so that you can be able to run those commands. Immediately after installing the dependencies or after creating the app, just CD inside the app. Then you can install the dependencies. Is that okay, Mocheko?
People are floating.
I can see people are floating, but they'll catch up. You said that floating is constant, but the more you do these things, the more you get used to it. So you have to actually do it. Get the
So,
errors and
yeah,
debug.
yeah. So let us just run through it so that we can enter into the class because if you try to explain to them everything that we did, that is another 2 hours.
Okay. I was trying to give them another shortcut to create an app, to
Yes, yes.
create the app, and then I'll hand over to you. Is that
Okay,
okay?
no problem.
Okay. So it's very simple. You open the bash, and I'll just put it on top of my desktop. So let's create it here. Uh, uh, I'll call it the full test, and then I'll quickly run through it. It's very simple. It's actually combining all the commands into one line, and then you hit enter, and everything will be set up. So it's very simple. It's pnpm create voids at latest, then flag the name of the app that you want to create. My app, I'll just call it my app, and then flag the template you want to use. We'll use the React template. After that, this is what you do, and cd into my app, then again and pnpm install. I hope it works. I hope it will work because this, and finally you run the dev, npm run dev. I hope it won't disappoint. That is another way. That is another way you can do it. So you can see.
It is fight, not voot.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry for that. Thank you for correcting that.
and then put a space between the first ampersand that you have there, CD. This should be a space there.
This one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll just put it off like that.
You can delete it because it's already created.
Okay. So I can.
Go back, then delete that folder, then rerun the command.
Okay. I'll come here and can see my app is there. Just delete it. Hmm.
You can use the rfrm command on terminal, works all the time.
Pardon?
Change back, go back with the cd that dot dot, don't know. Then rm flag rf,
On flag.
yeah, one flag. Then my app, space my app.
Thank you
Now,
for that.
now repeat the command now.
I can do that command again. So maybe I can copy this command and paste on the chat in case someone wants to use it.
You can paste it on everyone. It's now on host and
Uh,
panel.
it does not have that option for
Okay.
everyone.
Okay, mine has. Let me just copy paste what you have.
Okay. So Dedan, that was what I grasped in the morning session. And
Amazing,
because
amazing.
because of time, you can take over.
Thank you so much for
Yeah, you
that.
can yeah, you can see it has given us the local host again. So you can combine all those commands into one line, and then you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking your time. I can see I was not talking to myself in the morning. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, that is really amazing. New people, just be on standby. Next time, I'm going to call you again to help other people. You see, that's how you become better at this thing. There's no university whereby you're going to be taught how to train people. Because right now, I know while I'm training you, I know some people who are better at this, but they are taking their time just to listen to me. Um, just listen to me talk to you. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. So, let me take you back. Can you join us attendees? Angela, are you there? Amazing. Okay. Now, class rules apply. We'll be answering question after. Not now. The reason why I've taken my time to ask other people so that we can be able to see like, yeah, you're not alone. Other people, they tend to grasp what we are teaching here. And you have seen clearly from what Anthony and Angela have done is that, okay, floating is constant, but to make sure that floating is not prolonged on your side, just make sure you continue doing it on your own time. Don't wait for us or don't wait for us to come and give you that information. We are giving you the baseline. Do it more on your side for yourself. It's very simple, by the way. You're not meant to grasp everything in one class, in one sitting. It is impossible. I've sat in classes whereby they are talking about physics, mathematics. Trust me, that class was just for me to sit there so that one or two things they pass through me, but not for me to understand everything actually. That class was meant for me just to sit there and make sure, okay, so this is the structure, this is the flow. So when I get the structure, I'll be able to do it for myself back then. So it is more of self-work other than the instructor's efforts. The instructor is just there to guide you. So I'm just here to make sure that we are going on the same pace. You see? We are going on the same pace. It is very simple. Actually, you're going to find it more interesting when you do it on yourself. We are just here as a community, PLP community, to make sure that we are here to make sure that you get what is needed. That's why you're sharing resources. It's not that you're not going to find this thing on YouTube or any other courses, but growing inside a community is very, very, very important. For me, I've gotten all the jobs that I have now, all the jobs that I've done before through communities, whether university communities, blockchain community, PLP community, any kind of tech community. That is where you grow. So that is the one purpose that should make you stay here. So we continue slowly, and you're going to see how amazing this is going to reap benefit for you. So just be patient. Floating is very constant. Actually, if you're not floating, you're lying to us. Yeah, because unless you have done this before countless of times, but if you are really here to learn, don't lie to yourself that, okay, vibe coding, I've done this. No, that is vibe coding, but can you just switch off the internet or switch off the browser, the AI, and sit down for a minute and do it word for word, code for code? Can you? That is the big question. And we never know. I don't know everything about React. Actually, I don't know everything about React. If you ask me, the last time I was using React was when? Very, very rarely. So it's not that I don't know everything, but I know how to deliver it to you. That's why I'm here for you. Now, let us proceed. Now, let me disable the chats. Perfect. Share my screen. Now, we did in the morning something that is amazing, though we didn't have much time, but this afternoon we want to do something called a student feedback tracker, like just a project that is sort of a feedback tracker, you see? You post, you see something. I could have done task manager, but that is too familiar for everybody. We have done it so many times. But let us do this. Oh, but they have not yet rested, so this is the work that I was given to do. So I'll do it to the best of my ability. Don't feel sorrow for me. This is what we are paid to do now. But payment is not what makes me to stay here because I said like I'm a software engineer. I have a job that pays a lot more than this, but you should ask yourself, why am I here? I'm here not mostly because of salary, but to make sure that I impact so many lives, not as a motivational speaker, but somebody you are going to say, okay, now I think I served my purpose on this earth. And when time comes, I'm going to leave whenever it's necessary. Of course, everybody has to leave this earth, one way or the other. So let's start this project. So PNPM, that method that Anthony has shown, it is very amazing. Like you can use it if you want to. I gave a glimpse of that in the morning. So you can use any method. Actually, Some people say that you write a script that automates that. So it is very simple. You can write a bash script or anything. So latest, the name of the project is called Student Feedback. Feedback, yeah, spelling is okay. So template, that means that I want to use React. And then I'm going to say at like ampersand twice. Then of course, after creating it, you have to change directory. So cd student feedback. Then what do you have else? After cd, you install. So npm install. Then of course you can run npm run dev. So after doing that, according to the speed of your machine, it's going to go quickly or slower. Doesn't matter really, but mine is done. There you go. So when I come here, refresh this one, it should be able to give me a new project. Now, having that in mind, let me just stop it. Open a new project. There you go. So make sure you have all of these things. But remember, if you're used to Tailwind version 3, please just get used to Tailwind version 4 because as you can see, we don't have tailwind.config.js file here. That is for the previous Tailwind. I'm going to stress this as much as possible for it to enter your brain. It is very important. I'm not doing npm install other things here and there. What I'll do, come here, is Tailwind. Version 4, get started. Just come and install it like this. But like I said, we are not doing it. When you're using pnpm, you're not using npm install or pnpm install, use add. So you come and do pnpm. So please, right now, if you're joining and you're not able to join in the morning, please just float comfortably. Just float comfortably. Because I'm not going to stress on a couple of issues. That has already been covered in the morning session. The link for the recording has been shared. Please just go there and see and hear a lot of explanation being done. I'm not going to say this is a prop. Okay, I'm going to say this is a prop, but I'm not going to define. Some of the codes I'm not going to explain why. We have already done so many in web development such that you should be able to familiarize yourself with that. You see, when you wait for me to come and tell you, please, now let us learn this, it is going to be at your own cost. Imagine you are in a company. You are entering into a company as a software developer. The project that you are being given there, you have never seen. But during the interview, you said, I'm willing to learn. Now, that willingness to learn, put it now in practice now. Start putting that into practice. For those who are Christians, let me just give you this analogy. For example, you want to go to heaven, and then you say, I'll repent when I get to heaven. No, start repenting now before you go to heaven. Because if you're not going to repent now, you're not going to repent in heaven. So, same thing. I don't know for the Muslim, but I think you're relating. You cannot say that I'm willing to learn. When I get the job, then you're not willing to learn right now. So practice right now. So pnpm add. If I'm hurting your feelings, please forgive me. But hash reality. So pnpm add, but because this was already installed in the morning session, right now, as you can see, it is not downloading. It is just reusing, which is amazing. Now, that is Tailwind. So after doing that, the next step was what? The next step was coming here, going to index.css. Just delete everything that you're seeing there. And what you're going to see here is just say import. Import what? What you're seeing here is just saying import Tailwind CSS. So just copy everything here. And then go to void config. Actually, you can see all the process here. Go to void config, copy that line, put it down here, then add it as a plugin. I've not copied it yet. Add it as a plugin right here. So We'll come and add it as a plugin like Tailwind CSS. So you can see it is matching. There you go. Now, after doing that, you are good to go. Forget post CSS, what. That's fine. This, what you're seeing here, this is just final. I already explained why. Now, after doing that, we need to put ShadCN. Amazing. I want to introduce you to ShadCN. There's this kid called ShadCN. Amazing. Now you go to, of course, when you enter ShadCN, get started, installation. So go for manual because that is what we are going to use. And when you come here, you're going to see a lot of things. We have PNPM add. You add the class variance authority, CLSX, Tailwind merge, Lucid React, Tailwind automate CSS, blah, blah, blah. And as you can see, it is NPM add, not PNPM. It is PNPM add, not PNPM install. NPM install, we have yon add, we have ban add. So that is what you're supposed to know how to do. So we are not using that config. So let me get the proper one. Installation. We have Next.js Vite. So we are going for Vite. So this is how you initialize it in Vite. And we have already done this. Actually, these people, I think they are up to date with the Tailwind version 4 because this is what I was talking about, except for this. Forget about this. They already come with it. As soon as you say Vite, it comes with all of these things. And then TS config, forget also about this one. What you want to focus on, yeah, this is it now. So this is how you install it. So we also have this. So you should be very careful on what you're using, by the way. If you don't have a file, don't come and add it. As you can see, this edit, not add. Now, update. Now, this one we have. So we come and copy this one. ShadCN is very simple, remember? It is very simple. For me, I had a couple of them, so just reinstalling. Go to Vite config. I already have this line. So I want to add this line for the nodes, type nodes. They're saying it is up there at the top. And then one of the plugins that I have to put, we also have this one and this one. I think you have seen that, this and this. So we just need to add, let me align them correctly. In that case, now after that, we have to have the resolve. Resolve, as you can see, here it is. So resolve, copy 1, 2, 3, good. That is what we want. Just follow closely. You should not be able to get lost at that point. Now resolve alias at. Anytime you are calling at, we are going to see why you are going to be using this one. Now run the CLI. So this is how you run it. So you run PNPM. Remember, we have so many alternatives. So choose yours. As we are going with this one, it is called DLX. Don't ask me what it stands for. Just use it. Some of the questions, even I don't know if you saw the other day, the CEO of Anthropic said that he doesn't know how the AI works. Yet he's the CEO. Of course, he doesn't know how the AI works. Even if you're the CEO of OpenAI, you don't know exactly how things work. Just use it. So this is the steps that you're supposed to follow. PNPM, DLX, if you're using PNPM, if it is NPM, just direct. So hit enter, you initialize. It is going to bring in a component called UI. That folder is going to carry a lot. So when you go here, you should be able to see a couple of things. Why am I not seeing that? Okay, no import alias found. Don't know why it is doing that. So it has found version 4. So this import alias, I think it is impacting us. Some people are wondering, what are you talking about? I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds. But this one is working with the TypeScript compiler, which you are not using. but not to worry. Not to worry at all, because after running this, we are supposed to be seeing this compa. We are not seeing it for a reason. So let me scan and check. Let me resolve that with the AI here really quick. Why is that error? Yeah, errors are errors, but you see, you're seeing here import aliases. I think we are exactly where we are supposed to be. Yeah, I think we are. I think I found a reason why. So because we don't have that, we need to add a file called js config. Yeah, I knew that is going to bring an issue. JSON. If you don't have that, then you come and add this kind of nini. Because I see the reason why I left it out is because, as you can see here, where is it? Here. It is saying, where is it? Yeah, this one. It is saying TS, yet we don't have TS. So we just need to bring it manually. So the compile options, this was the reason why. This one, I don't think so. I think from there now we can be able to initialize now in a comfortable way. Yeah, you see now, validating the import alias. So the import alias is whereby you're saying at. Instead of calling exactly the route, you just say at, it calls everything inside the source folder. So anything you say, like something, anything you say, anytime you say at, it brings out everything. So it is good to configure it around the Vite engine, but as well the compiler options. Now, you go for a couple of things. Let us go for neutral. Updating the CSS. It is going to do everything for us. It is done. Now, when you go to index.css, a couple of things have been added. It has not deleted anything that I was working with. It is working with Tailwind version 4. So it knows exactly what to put where. So everything that you're seeing here from line 2, that is not me. That is shadcn. That is shadcn. Now, and you're going to find that we have components.json. It is there. It has been brought. This was not with us. That is number one. And as you can see, shadcn schema. And then when you click on the lib, inside the SRC, you're going to find utils.js. So this is going to help us match with Tailwind really well, and a couple of things that comes with that. Now, for us to actually work with the Tailwind, for us to actually work with the shadcn, sorry, we need to do a couple of things before we start. It is important. Let's say we want to add a button. So we know a button. Let us go and find a button. Let just me to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let us open the components. Let us find a button. So this is the button. You're going to see the exact behavior of a button. So this is a button. For you to add exactly how this thing is going to look like and then configure it later on. So this is the code that is responsible for this kind of button. This is the code, but it came from here. So what is this? So this one, actually the usage, how it was linked by, it was just, you see, you have different buttons. When you hover, you can see all the buttons that you want. You see when you hover, that one looks like a link, that one like an arrow to go to the next one. This one is a loader, and so many buttons that you can able to use. So for us to actually have a button, what you're supposed to do is just come and say something like that. So copy. Then you come and do like that. So it is going to create a folder. This one is going to create a folder within the SRC, which is called components. And components is going to have another folder called UI. Now that folder is going to have the button, and you're going to see the code. So just hit enter, wait for it to add, checking the registry, adding dependencies, done. Created this folder, and then that file. Here it is. So it is UI. Now check out that huge code base that you have there for just a button. So as you can see, that's a button component that you have added there. So for you to use this thing, you just come and say import button from art components UI button. Then from there, everything should be clear. Now, let us proceed slowly. But for us, we need to add a couple of. So I need to add, we have a button, right? So I need to add a card. Let's say input first, because a feedback form should have, when you talk about feedback, should be having an input for the feedback, right? We also need a card. We also need a text area. We also need an alert. No, let us see an input. You can just go and browse. What is an input? So we go back, find an input. So there, here it here is an input. As you can see, we have several types. But not to worry, we just import it, then we can customize it as however you want. You see, we have an input for file. We have an input like that looks like that blocked. This one is disabled. This one is with the label. You can see. We have an input with a button. We have an input that is together with the form and so on and so forth. How about a card? Let us take a look at a card. My favorite part actually is cards because this entire thing that you're seeing here is a card. Okay, this is the entire thing that you're seeing here. This square thing that you're seeing that has everything there. So now this everything that you're seeing here is a card. So there's a card action, card content. Everything, when you say a card, is going to bring everything. It's going to even come with a card title, card header, card footer, card description, and everything. So that's how it comes with. Now, how about a text area? We talk about a text area, so you can come and check text area it is. A text area, you can able to enlarge it at the corner. That should tell you that's a text area input. That's how it looks like. We have another one here. We have another one that is disabled, just like an input. And also we have an alert, one of the favorite. I call them toast. I call them toast. Now these are the ones that pop up when something happens. So you bring them as a pop-ups. You can see you have so many. Now, having that, we can now hit enter. It is going to bring all of these components together with huge code bases. As you can see, we have the alert here. We have the card here. And as you can see, the card comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of things: card header, card title, card description, card action, card content, card footer. All of them are exported. Input, same case. Text area, as you can see. Now, what learners will gain for this, or what US learners will gain for this, is that we are going to cover a lot of concepts. We want to cover how use states are being used, control inputs, props, events, and everything about components, conditional rendering, tailwind CSS, JSX, and everything that comes with that. Generally, just React. Now, these are components, but this is coming from the UI, so don't touch here. So we are going to touch here. We are going to create a folder inside components. This folder is going to be called, just let us just put it as folder, but then everything about the UI, just leave it at that. So here we are going to create a couple of things. We are going to create files outside the UI, not inside the Tailwind one. Don't mix, please. If you find yourself mixing, just go on in the folder itself and do it from there. So when you come here, just create file CISA, not inside here, outside. So because for me, I know how to differentiate. So we want to have a feedback. You're going, people are going to say, okay, that's Tailwind, but now how are you going to use them and customize them? That part is coming. So we have feedback.jsx. We have another one not inside, please. Not there. So feedback.jsx, feedback form, then we have feedback item.jsx. And then we have what else? We have feedback list, I think, .jsx. Now those three files. Now let us work with them. But first of all, let us go to our app.jsx. We don't need anything here. Remember, our app is already running. So as soon as we make changes, it is going to reflect them here. Okay, it is not. So now let us do this. npm run the. So we refresh, empty. Yeah, that's what I expect. Now, let us create our root state manager. Like we want to create something that is going to bring everything now to light. So let us start from scratch. Let us start from scratch, then we can go now to the components. Now, these things should not be hard for all of you. So import, we start with the use state. You only import use state if you want to use them. Don't import them if you are not intending to use them. So we import feedback. You're talking about feedback what? Somebody putting thumbs down. Why? Please don't follow what I'm doing. Just learn. Let us. I'm not going to wait for you to type as I type. No. I want you, when I type, just watch. Then internalize. Then later on, you're going to digest. If you wait for me, I am not going to do that, kindly, because of time. If you start doing that, forever. Now I'm going to use the art. That one is called the aliases. Now that is what we call aliases. But then when you use the art, that one is what we call the aliases. So because it's a feedback form, you come and do that. And then this one allows you to just call anything from anywhere. So it is good to use it from time to time. So feedback. You talk about feedback list. From, you put art. No, you put that, then art. Actually, you are being suggested to use it. Components, feedback what? You talk about feedback list. You see, it is easier to get it. Other than getting those paths and so on. Even XJS actually recommends that. Now, after that, they come and say export, defaults, function, yeah, up. So after that, what are we supposed to do now? Is it defaults, not default? These typos that I like, I can keep bringing them up. Now, I feel excited coding. You see, it brings that feeling. You see, for me, I usually invest. There's a time I did coding for 33 hours. It was I was staying at home. Another time I was in a hackathon for like 18 hours straight. I was coding for 18 hours straight. Actually, I won the hackathon. So another one, I stayed for only one night. I drank a lot of energy drinks. I'll never do that again. Never do that. I'm not trying to promote or de-promote any energy drink company, but that thing teared me up in the morning. Of course, I was one of the best in that hackathon. I think position one in my team because it was inter-university back then. It was on a Saturday to Sunday. In the morning, I was shaking like a drunkard who's just drank like a whole pint of hard alcohol. So I don't recommend. For me, nowadays, I code. If I'm tired, I sleep. If I'm not tired, I just code even without coffee. I used to use coffee called Dormans. Nowadays, I don't because it is going to tear you down. You're going to get old faster. People are going to say, "Oh, you are a programmer. No wonder you are very old." But you are a Gen Z at that time. That thing is going to tear your muscle, tear your glucose in the body. It's going to wear you out. That's why you see a lot of programmers who are from America and what, they are very old because they're using these things. Just use your mind. There's a component inside your ear or your brain called hypothalamus. It is there to train you, like it is there to make you sleep or being awake. So train that hypothalamus to make sure that please stay awake. Stay awake for the entire night. And if it is time to sleep, please go and sleep. But that is after a lot of years of torture, of self-torture. So I'm just telling you out of experience. I have not reached this far if I was sleeping a lot. I was coffee. Hey, and these energy drinks, they are good, but to give you energy for a short time, but they are wearing you out. Now, we start by bringing in the use state. We call them the use state hooks, or just call them state hooks. So we bring the feedbacks. So the feedbacks is going to handle the feedback, the current feedbacks, then the set feedback is going to update the feedbacks, then the use state is going to take all the feedbacks, like the data types. After that, let us write a function to add. So this is where you're going to see, okay, so this is how you do it. You're going to see a couple of crude operations being performed there. Okay, so this is how they look like on the back end. Watch and see. If you are really keen in my class, you're going to see some similarities here. So add feedback. So this is adding or posting feedback to the database. So how do you see them? So you're adding one feedback. So takes a feedback as you can say as a parameter, arrow function, then you're going to say, so to add feedback, you can say set feedback. That's the main function that you're calling. You say prev. I believe you know exactly what I'm doing here. Should not be a stranger in this thing. Then we have our one and only spread operator. So spread operator, normally 3 ellipses, then that is normally used to take, I believe you know what I'm doing here. Spread operator mostly is being used for copy pasting. So it's copying pasting the previous feedbacks that we have and taking this one. So it is copy pasting this one and put it inside a new array, then taking this one and putting inside the current one, which means this one, it is going to go to set feedback. Set feedback is going to update the feedbacks. Thumbs up if you understand my physics. I know it is very difficult. Right now, people are digesting like no one else's business. If you don't understand, please, that's okay. I'm here to teach you. Now, let me repeat. Spread operator is mostly used to copy paste data. Take that note. Number two, what you're seeing here, basically you're saying, take the feedback that we have from the user, which you are passing here, take the feedback, put it inside this one that we copy pasted, which means it's going to bring in new data set. So previously, maybe we had 3 feedbacks, right? So 3 feedbacks are going to be copy pasted using this previous or prev spread operator. After copy pasting them, they are going to be put in a new line. Let me just give you this. So this is the 1, 2, 3. So this one is the new. This one is the previous. Let me say prev, right? Now, what it does is going to take 1, 2, 3, copy paste them, put them in this new line, 1, 2, and 3, and then take the feedback, which you can say it is 4. Now, this one is the 4th one. This one is the previous one. So spread operator copies everything here, which is 1, 2, 3, and takes and put it in a new line so that it can be able to add the 4th one if it is there. After that, it is going to update it inside the set feedbacks, which means this one updates this one. So this 4, if it is 3 now, it is going to be 4 because it is updating this one. This one is updating this one. According to the data types, remember. I believe now you understand the logic there. Very simple, by the way. Now, proceeding slowly. Of course, close this one. Now, that one is for adding data. Now, how about deleting data? I'm just going to mention a few. I'm just going to mention a few. Then later on, you can be able to see how. Later on, you can do the get and fetch and everything. Then later on, you can see the use of Axios. Maybe next week or in the catch-up class, make sure you attend either. But make sure you attend the catch-up and the class so that you can be able to see how I use Axios. Right now, I don't want to introduce Axios. That's why I'm not using Axios or fetch in this class. Now, same thing. So it's going to take the index. So we are deleting according to what? So you delete by index or you delete by, we are saying index by. Do you know why you are saying index? Because the data type is array. So we are dealing with data types with array. So when you specify an array of 0, which means it's very unique. You have only one array which is position 0. Only one array which is position 1. So if it is a normal data, we are going to delete by ID. That is what we are going to target. So you delete 1 by ID. So how do you achieve that? So you come and take, of course, the prev blah, blah, blah. You scan the entire thing, but now you filter. So this is how you filter. So previous, like the data that you have previously, you come, that's why I'm using Prev. So you come and filter, but you're filtering via what? You're filtering using what exactly? That is the question that you're supposed to ask yourself. What are you filtering using? Now, because we're filtering using index, so I'm going to say I. We are going to filter through index. After filtering that, we are going to target. So we are going to say I. Don't worry, I'm going to explain, just like I did the other one. So remember, JavaScript is a loosely typed language. So we can use, let us just use loosely equalization, but okay, that one is strict and equalization, so index. I don't know if you understand what I've just done there. Hmm? What I've done there is very brilliant, just for the sake of explanation. Now, what you're seeing there in React, what you're seeing there, let me just explain because the question is going to be from here. What are you trying to say here? Now, this specifically filters out item at the specific index, or you can, yeah, index, because index is one, indices are many. So the filter function or the filter method goes through each item in that array. The first argument, which you're seeing here, I've just put it, this one as underscore. The first argument is the current item. We are not using it, so we name it as that one. So it is the current item, so we are not using it, so we name it as that. The second item, or the second argument that you're seeing here, because it is within it is within an arrow function, so they are arguments. I'll say parameters as well. So the second argument, I, is the index of the current item of an array. So this one is the current item. This one is the index of this current item. Are you there? Now this conditional that you're seeing here, keeps all items except the one at the given index. I believe I'm very clear. So you target an feedback. For example, this one is an item, right? So this one is a feedback item. Let me just bring it in the logical way. I've already explained it programmatically. Let me now explain it according to the project. This one is a feedback item. This one is the index of this feedback item. Now we are going to keep everything else except this. So which means these are going to go. So if the index is what you want to delete here, please just remove it, except everything else. So remove this one except everything. So we are keeping everything else except this one. That's one short way of removing one item. Now, let us proceed. It should not be able to bother you, by the way. Should not be able to bother you. A good example, for example, we have a feedback which is for example, the one feedback at the first index, for example, just to give you an analogy, think about great, that's a feedback. We talk about needs, maybe improvement. We talk about excellent, right? Now, this one is index number 0. This one is index number 1, index number 2. So 0, 1, 2 in terms of index, right? So 0, 1, 2, for those who don't understand. Now, if this one is 0, this one is 1, this one is 2. So if you want to remove this one, what do we do? So we target index number 1. So we come here and say, we come here and put it like that. And then for the index, because this is the what the user is going to pass, we are going to change this one to 1. So it is going to keep everything else except this one is going to be removed because it is not what we want to keep. So the end result is going to appear what? So the end result is going to be like this. Let me remove that. So the end result is going to be like this because index number 1 was removed. So this one, this is what the user is going to pass here for removal. I believe now the logic is now well understood. Now, let us proceed. Slowly by slowly, until we cover everything that we need. Now, I think we are done with that. So we just need a feedback and delete a feedback. So let us now return everything in a JSX format. So remember, everything that we are doing here is very good. So come and say class name. So we want the maximum width to be 2XL. Max width 2XL. As you can see, telling is very easy actually. Then the margin, the x-axis to be, or the margin horizontal to be auto. Can say the pixel to be 6. I was using 4 in the morning. Then we want to space everything in a y-axis format in a space of 6. Simple. Let us see. So we don't have anything yet, but you're going to see here right now. So this one, as you can see, this is the JavaScript logic, and this one is HTML with mixed with this logic. Now that is now React. Now we proceed and say, let us create a H1. Then this H1, you give it a class name. So we come and say text 3XL, the usual one that we have. And then you can come and say, let the font be bold, just like in the morning. Then you can come and say student feedback talker. Ladies and gentlemen, don't know if it is running, but let us see. What am I forgetting? It's supposed to. Yeah. Because you have not yet achieved this one, so I can remove this. And now, and you're going to see the changes there. There you go. Simple. So this one, yeah, you have to achieve that. Now, for us to achieve this, that is the next step that I was aiming at. So you come and say, we talk about the feedback form. We have not done the feedback form yet, but I intend to put, remember what we did in the morning, the on add, right? That is what I intend. So sometimes you visually code in your head before you start even actually coding. So this one is going to add feedback. Then we come and say something like that. This one is going for the feedback list. This one is going to just take to list all the feedbacks. That is what I intend to do. So I come and say feedbacks. And then because as soon as you list feedbacks, just allow for deletion. So you can say on delete this event, and come and say delete feedback. Just like that. So this one should be able to present. So should be able to bring errors because these things are not existing yet. Even if you go here, you're going to see in the console log. Yeah, you see, it does not have any export. So until we do this for the form and the other thing, it's not going to show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us go to the next step. Let us go to the next step. Now, the next step should be very crucial because in my head, what I intend the feedbacks to be, the feedback is an array having several objects. One of the objects is name, because when you're giving a feedback, we have to know who you are. Number two, the comment that you're giving. Number three, the ratings that you're giving. Those are the feedbacks that we need, right? Normally. Now, when you come here, we start with the feedback form. So use state, same thing. Then Remember the shard CN that we imported? Yeah, so we are going to use the input, the text area, and the button for this one. So input, you come and say input. Then you're bringing it directly from where? So you're going to say at components slash UI slash input. We are done with that. We go for the next one. So the next one is text area. Text area. So for this one, you're going for what? So at components, UI, text area. You're done with that. Import. The other one is the button because, of course, yeah, so button. This one should not be like that. Let us do it correctly. Components, UI button. Yeah, that is fine. You need uniformity there. Now, that is the import. Now, how about the logic now? So default function. We're talking about the feedback form. Remember what we just imported. So just use exact same name, but this one is going to carry a prop called onAdd. This one onAdd is going to carry data. That's why we call it a prop. So we start with the use state hooks. So we start with the first one, the name. So name, set name, and then it's going to, so the name is going to be in string format, right? So you're going to say use state strings format. Leave it at that. Go for the next one, which is comment. Also, a comment is going to be in string format. So comment, set comment, and then you're going to say use state string format. You're done with that. You see how flawless we are going now? So const, we come and say we need rating. As soon as you plan it in your head, it is easier to flow, by the way. Rating, use state, just like that. Now, remember what we talked about when you are working with a form. The first thing that you have to do is just perform this, handle submit. Remember? We did that in the morning. I've done that countless of times. So you tend to get that unique format. Hold on. The deputy principal is calling me. Be back. You're welcome.
We missed you actually. Where are you?
I'm busy training other learners on Manstack today.
Yeah, okay. We take to Pelonia, but that's it.
Very much appreciated.
Okay. Thank you. Let me give you a last one. Feedback. What's the next one? What is the favorite part of it?
Hello, Mr. Dedan.
Hello.
Dedan Okware mwenyewe.
Yes.
Okay, now I did your course for front-end HTML and JavaScript.
Yes.
Yeah, no, let me tell you, I think about your class, nobody could have slept in your class, let me tell you. Even if somebody was how tired they were.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, like you're so engaging, bro. Can kind of sincere it, and then you're like, now from JavaScript. I mean, it was fun, man. It was fun. It was very fun.
I really appreciate it. Sorry I missed the graduation. I'm busy training another cohort.
Oh, okay, yeah, you cry, man.
Have a good tech career. We'll be seeing each other in this field.
Yes, we will. But I have a question for you.
Yes.
Give me one thing I need to know about React if I want to master it.
Wow. Even today, this is the class that I'm training about React. Now, just go slow on it and make sure you capture all the basics of JavaScript and DOM. And then make sure you go step by step, understand the state hooks and the use effect because they tend to attach on the back end. Yes. After that, the rest is just going with it, with the flow. Yes. Yeah.
You have created one.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Dudu?
Hello.
Hello, hata kama uko as graduation, I have to remind you that you have brought impact to this cohort. So from me personally, congratulations for delivering a good cohort team.
Yeah.
And from the learners personally, you have impacted life.
I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let me now go back to class.
Sawa, bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the Safaricom Hook cohort. They have just graduated. Some of the learners requested the deputy principal to call me so that they can give me some flowers. I received it gladly. So, you're not the only one. So we are here to make sure that you really make it out there because anyway, let us proceed. Where were we? Now, I just wanted you to hear that so that you know that there are others who are graduating today who are having the skills that I are having today because they sat in a class like you that you're doing today. Now, what I was saying is, but that should not make me proud, by the way. I'm just doing my job. Even if they are the flowers, that is the job that I was employed to do. Now, we take that and then we are saying that, remember the event that I explained earlier on. So if you don't understand the parts that I'm going to do here, please just refer on the morning video. It's already there, fully explained into detailed. Now, we prevent the form from submitting by default or the refreshing, so default. So that's a function that we normally have. So you can see if invoked, when the cancelable attribute value is true, and while executing a listener of the event, okay, a lot of English, but you just understand, we are preventing the defaults of the form from happening. From there, we say, let us take the user's data. So we take the user's data, we say name dot trim. Remember what the function of trimming is? We are removing the white spaces, the preceding and the trailing white spaces. Then you take the comments. So we are checking. Right now we are checking. If they are not there, we move to the next part. Like we just stop it at that. So we come and say here rating. Yeah, rating. Rating, I said, yeah, it is now rating. Yeah, it is a string dot string. So these ones, all of these, I'm going to negate all of them. This means that I'm checking. If they are not there, negating means they are not there. You put a negation there. No, that one. You put negation. Now, after that, what you do next is you're checking, right? If they're not there, just return null, like return just nothing, empty. So that's the first step of defense. Just check. Have you entered something? If they are not anything that you've entered, we are just not going to proceed from there. So after that, we trigger the onAdd. So this onAdd, I've already explained it in the morning. You're going to see a lot into that. So it's going to pass in props. So remember, it's a prop by itself, but it comes with the, what we said is, so comment. Now it's going to pass all of these things. But not to forget that when it is passing, this prop is there to pass data. But this data that you're talking about is now name, comment, and rating. So it is coming out as an object, or you can say, yeah, an object or a string, whatsoever. So what we can do next here now, because we need to update. Remember what we did here. So we need to update. So set name. We need to say set name. It needs to be updated, all of them. So we come and say set name. We take everything. So this one is going to just to update. After that, you can put another one, set comment. It needs to be updated. And then after that, you say set ratings also for updating. These are just invoked when we are trying to update. So we are done with that. That means for handling delete. Now, because it's all about the form, it's all about submission. Now, let us do the return because that's the only function that we can able to do. So we have the parent. This one is the parent element that is going to take it all. But we can use div, but because it's a form, actually I almost forgot here. Remember, just it's a form. We have to say this one is a form. So we have to forget about the normal workings of the form and work with what we know. So class name. So what does this thing do? So we want to post a space of y-axis of 4, I guess. We did 6 the other time. And then on submit. So on submit, when this event is triggered, what is supposed to happen? So we are supposed to call that handle submit. We are supposed to call handle submit. Don't worry, we're going to use now these things here. So if I come here and check, also here is going to tell me the list is not. So as you can see, the list is not yet there. That should not worry you. The beauty about this thing, as soon as the UI comes out, first of all, let the UI come out of your mind. From your mind now, you can now actualize it. Now, that's the same thing if you're vibe coding. You exactly know how my UI is going to look like. That's why you're giving the prompt to the AI for it to code for you. If it gives you something different, you're going to refuse that. So always start solving your problem from your mind before you put them on paper. Now, input. Because we already have input. Imagine the beauty of it. We already have input. So it's just a matter of calling it. Now, let me show you how to call it. We already have input. So you just need to call it, no styling. So this is how we do it. So you come and say input, just like that. So let me even close it. So you can just come and say, because this input is coming directly from here, right? So you just come and call that component. That's how we call it. Then you come and say the placeholder. The placeholder. So if you want to actually edit this input, you can just come and change a couple of things here. You can come and change all of these things. If you want your input to have a different color, just come and change everything here. So you can see this is pure Tailwind done for you. So if you want it to look somehow different, just come and change it from here. It is very simple. For example, you can go and check for the background. You can see we have dark area, invalid, ring, destructive, and everything. If it's a placeholder, you can see how the color is going to look like. We have selection BG primary. If that really confuses you, you can come and check the color codes. Somebody asked about the color codes. I think it was Angela. The color codes are already done for you. It's just a matter of coming and choosing. You can see if you're talking about primary, you're talking about secondary colors, all of them are done for you. You can see all the color codes that are here. They're already done for you. Unless you come and change it yourself, here everything is done for you. Now, let us proceed. Remember, if you want to change any settings, like the colors that you're not liking, just come and change it here. If you don't understand, you can browse and learn more about Tailwind. You're going to understand all of this because more is all about shading and everything. Now, let us go back. So, placeholder, we're talking about the placeholder. So, the placeholder, you're saying student name. You're just suggesting what the name, what the placeholder should have. After that, what are we talking again? We're talking about value. So I remember doing this, by the way, for it to be easier. I remember value. So if you're talking about value, what are we talking about? We're talking about the name. Remember this name, this name. So we are bringing it here. So name, because it's a name that you want. And after that, what else do we want? You can say on change. So when on change is triggered, what should happen exactly? So remember, I already explained this. I'm not going to repeat. So I want some of you who have not watched to go and watch that recording so that you can be helped there. But just to proceed, set name. So that one is going to take e target. That one is going to take the input. E dot target is going to take the input, is going to point us to the input, and then dot value is going to point us to exact information that the user is putting there. And then all of them are going to be put inside here. And then I think you're done for that. So that's the first input. So for the input, we are taking the name. Have that in mind. Now, how about the text area? Remember the text area is where the comment is being put there. So you can come and say text area. So text area from where? Here. So make sure you use this one, not here. Yeah. Because these are the ones that are being exported. You can come and confirm here. You see, they're the ones that are being exported. So we come and say text area. So for the text area, same case. So placeholder, we are saying here is the feedback. So feedback. And then we can come and say, if that is the feedback, well, how about the value? So we just repeat everything. So how about the value? So the value is going to take the comment. Just like that. And how about, is it the comment? Yeah, the comment. And how about on change? So we just come and copy this. Exact same thing, by the way. But we are going to change set name to set comment. So we copy that, set comment, just like that. We are done. Then we need an input. So this input again, input. Okay, so for this input, same case. So placeholder. Placeholder. So this one is going to be rating. Rating. So we are rating from 1 to 5. So 1 to 5. Somebody's going to say, why did you use now? I could use number, but it's part of data collection. All of them, they are going to come as strings. Then the type. So this is why we define things. So we say type, this input is going to carry type number. Not that way. Type number. And then the value, as usual. This one is going to carry rating. And then we are going to repeat the same thing here, except we are going to use set rating, just like that. We are done. Simple as that. Now, how about the button? Because we also have the button. So the button, we are going to say button. So the button type is submit by default. Type is submit by default. After submission, what else do we need? So this button, I've done it wrong, but let me do it correctly. Button. Yeah, just like that. So submit feedback. Then here I'm going to say type submit. There you go. We are done with that. So remember the control inputs. We have the value, we have the on change, and then on submit is being prevented for the default, and then form validation logic. This is one of the form validation logic that we are using here. This is very simple. Then the state resets after submission. You have to understand that. The state resets after submission. Yeah, it is. Now we are done with that. You can see just 45 lines of code. We are done. Let us do the item. Or what can we do else? Do the item on the list of. Just hold on. I'm already in class, but it's okay. Hello?
Data.
Yes,
How are you?
fine.
Gilbert.
I can't put the name, but yes.
Saidiana Skia WebSockets.
Now I'm getting there, yes.
Just wanted to say that you've been a good mentor and you're good at what you do, and we appreciate a lot.
This is very much appreciated. Yes.
Connecting.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing each other in this industry.
I'm still getting more, but therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations once more.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, I saw that coming a mile away. But it is okay. Yeah. Now let us proceed. Now we are talking about the list. The list is going to be very short. Let's jump on it. Time is really gone. So feedback. We are taking it from the feedback item. So I want the list. For you to have a list, you need to take it from the item. So just like that. So feedback item. Then you're going to say from components. Then we talk about the items, right? That is it. So for you to display a list, you need to iterate. There's a very good way to iterate things. You can be able to do that just by passing props. That's just enough. Just pass the props. They are going to do everything for you. So function. And by the way, learn to type quickly when you're coding. It brings a certain gist around you. Feel like, I can do this. So we are passing what? We are passing feedbacks, right? We are passing feedbacks. So if you're passing feedbacks, you also need to pass the on delete. Remember what you are doing here. Is it this one? No. Where was it? The app. Yeah. Here it is. We are passing feedback and the on delete. So we need to pass those things because as far as we're talking about a list, remember this is what we're talking about. We have the feedbacks and you have the delete. So these are the props. The props, the function is just to pass data. So on delete. So I have to refer to this one because when we talk about feedback form, we only passed on add. Where is it? We only passed on add. So if you're talking about feedback list, we are passing, actually this is not supposed to be here. Supposed to be here. Now we are passing it like that. So we are going to say on delete. And then we can come and say, if we are trying to see if the feedbacks are not there, what are we supposed to do? If we have 0 feedbacks, so what are we supposed to do? So feedbacks. People are calling the group right now. Come on. Put it on there. Don't want to receive any more calls now. So we want to check if you do not have any. So how do you do that? So how to do that, you use the strict equality. Like we are saying, strictly if you don't have anything, which means we don't have feedback, we have 0 feedbacks. How do we navigate about that? We just return something, a message to that person. We are going to tell that person in a paragraph, no feedback submitted yet. And then we are going to style it. We have to style things, by the way. We have to style things. So class name, we can come and say the text should be gray, a bit gray. Shade of 500, I believe. That's okay for now. So after that, we are done. So let us now iterate to bring everything now to list every feedback that we have. So div. So we talk about div. Let us now say our list. How do you want our list to look like? So we want a spacing. We want a spacing. Remember, other things are already styled for us. So we don't need to style other things. They are already styled for us. So just have that in mind. So have that for, I believe, yeah. And then what we can do, you can come and say feedback. So we are taking feedbacks. Remember, we are scanning. We are mapping out everything to make sure that a feedback is matched with the index. That is what we want to do. So we come and say a feedback. So feedback for F, index for I, we match them one by one. So we come and say, if we are pulling that out, if you're pulling that out, the feedback itself should be able to come out. So we are going to say, remember the feedback item that we already pulled out? That is what you're going to use. So how are we going to use it? So it is going to have key value pair. So the first key, this is how we iterate, by the way. Come and say, it's going to carry an index. The second one is going to carry, so the index itself, we are going to note it as well. And the feedback is going to carry F. So it's one feedback. Remember, you're iterating over and over again. This one is going to carry F. And then on delete. So on delete, what is going to happen for the on delete? Is going to pass on delete. Remember the prop? Yeah, just like that. And then you can close this guy. Just like that. So remember, I've already said that this one is going to render the entire list, like it's going to say now. Like the way you go and put food on the table, like put everything on the table, do that, or put all the pencils on the table. So map is going to render the list itself. So we are going to pass a prop. So we dare to pass props to the child, which is feedback item. So we are passing these props to the child. This one is the child component that you're passing. So passing props to child, which is feedback. Because inside a feedback list, inside a list, you can have many components, many items, right? So feedback produces, so this one is a parent, this one is a child. So you're passing so many. So what about this key index that you're seeing here? So this one uses the index here since we don't have any IDs. So this one is going to use this one as our ID. So empty state messages when the list is empty. This is it. Everything else you already know. Now, that one is the feedback item, for the feedback list. How about the item? Very quick. Very quick. Very quick. You're going to say card. We want to use the card. Now, this is the magic now. How do you want our item to appear? How do you want our feedback item to appear? When you put a feedback, how does it appear there? Now, we want them to appear as cards. And you've already seen how cards are appearing. You're going to see that in a short while. So form, you're going to say at components UI card. Simple. You go to the next one. We want a button because, okay, an item. So we want to delete that item. So for us to be able to have that capability or any other capability, but for now we want to delete this item. So for us to delete an item, we need to bring everything on board. So button. And then we can say from at components UI, then this one is a button. Only those, we only need that. And then from there, we come and bring our usual things. So default function, feedback item, just like that. And then this one is going to pass several props. 3 props actually, feedback, the index of that feedback, and the on delete. So feedback, the index of that feedback, and the on delete. Very simple. Forgive me, sometimes my head normally runs faster than my hands. So sometimes typo, sometimes I go faster and so on, but just bear with me. This one is very simple because it's an item, we are passing a card, should not be an issue. So it should not be an issue. So we are going to say the parent element here that we have, people, the parent element that we have here is called a card. So that is what we are going to pass here, card. So I want to put it, yeah, that is what I wanted, by the way. Thank you. Now, this one is not supposed to be a small card. Actually, it has auto-corrected me. Yeah, so the class name. Now, how do you want our card to look like? So for us to make sure that our card looks nice, why is it bringing things like I don't want? So let us have a pixel. So this is how you take, you see, we have a card already, fully styled. We have a card that is fully styled. But as we want to style our card more and more so that it can bring everything that we want. So for us to achieve that, we just come and say, I want it to flex. I want that card to flex, justify. Okay, let us see if we are there yet. So item, yeah, item, you have not exported, but we have just exported. Does not provide an export name default. Here it is, but okay. So justify between. Then items should be able not to be at the center, but at the start. They're like things inside that card, items, start. Simple. Then the next thing we need another element called div. This div is going to have h2. So this h2, what we are going to do about it is we are going just to say it's going to pass a few things. So the prop, so feedback, but in the feedback, remember, you're passing the feedback. I want to take you back to some of the things that we are doing. Where is it? Not this one. Not this one. Yeah, right. It is this one actually. So when you talk about feedback, you can pass the feedback with a child, but don't worry. Passing feedback with a child name. Because what does a feedback contain? That is what you're supposed to ask yourself from the beginning. A feedback contains a name of the person who is giving the feedback, contains the comments in that feedback contains the rating. So as a whole, you as a human being, what do you contain? You are a human. So you contain a name, you have an age, you have height, you have everything, skin complexion and everything. So you are a whole package. So a feedback is a whole package containing several things, containing a name. That is what I want to paint a picture out there for you. Let us style this. So we can come and say class name. We want the font to be a bit semi-bold, not too bold as the title, semi-bold. And then I think that's it. Nothing more, nothing more. So the H2 and then the paragraph. Now the paragraph is going to have what? So the paragraph is going to have the feedback and the comment, because feedback is a whole package. But what is contained within is what you're supposed to focus on. Now, this one, we want the text to be small. Remember, I told you about small, Excel, large, medium, just like your t-shirt. When you check about these sizes in Tailwind, just think of your t-shirt. Text, gray. We're talking about the shade of 600. And then let us have another one, which is paragraph. So that paragraph is going to contain rating. So for this one, I'm going to have something special saying rating. And then I'm going to have that rating there. So because it is going to come out as numbers, that's why I'm putting, it's going to come out as numbers. So I'm going to put it differently. Feedback, then dot rating. That is what I want to do. And then for here, class name, I want it to be text small, same case. And then it's text small. Some people are pointing at the time, please. Just bear with me, medium. And then margin top. Margin top, I want a margin top of 1, MT1. That is margin top. MB is margin bottom. Now we are done with that. Let us do, outside the div, let us do the button. Outside the div, let us do the button. So the button is going to contain what? Delete. Now delete, we are going to have a variant of, remember, it comes with variance. I don't know if you people are very careful at checking at things there that we were talking about. So there's something called variance. So when talk about variant, go and Google about variance. You're going to find more information on that. But the variance that I'm putting here, people, is the variance for destructive variant. So this variant, I want to say it is called the destructive. I'm going to add one more thing, but that's it. On the toast, then we are going to be done with it. This is the last roll that I'm doing. Then you're going to see magic, the UI, destructive. Destructive. So, but after that, we need it to perform on click. When you click it, remember the delete, we have not even touched it. So, but we are deleting according to the index. Say on click, when you click it, what is supposed to happen? So a small function, you can put it to perform, that is on delete. But this on delete is going to have an index. At the end of the day, make sure nothing is not used. The cases whereby you generate code using AI, you find some of the code that are not used. That is very bad practice. Now, remember the props usage. Remember ShadCN, how the cards are being used and even styling them for even the button. And remember the binding that you have just given here for the on-click with parameter passing of index from the prop. Now, we should be able to see something. Don't know if, yeah, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can see very good UI. Very good UI. You can see no feedback submitted yet. Let us check. I can come here and say, Angela, the session is going on well. The rating, give 4. Let us submit. As you can see, it is appearing as a card. It is coming out as a card. Come here and say, Anthony, nice session, even though I was floating. I'm not saying that Anthony is floating. Let me give a 2. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? This is what we have been working on. And as you can see, it is mobile responsive. If I take it in this way, you can see it is mobile responsive. I can delete it if I want to. I can delete it. As you can see, it is working really well. No errors at all. So you can do a lot. You see the cards are coming out to be quite the same. The cards are coming out quite the same. Now, let me put one more thing. Just allow me to add one more alert because I just realized we have an alert here, but we have not used it. Just allow me to use this one. So how do you put an alert? You come in the form, you put it down here. So when you talk about alert, we have said about alert, but for alert to work, we need something called toast. So you can come here to Shard CN. You can come here and try and find toast. So go back. Remember I told you about toast? Yeah, toast. When I talk about toast, my Kenyan people, I'm not talking about bread. But unfortunately, they're saying that it is deprecated. I don't know why. Don't know why it is deprecated. But anyway, I believe the same commands apply. So pnpm dlx, it is shard cn UI at latest add toast. Or toasting for a certain drink. No, that is not what you're talking about. It is deprecated, as you can see. It's deprecated, but it has downloaded. Now, if you go here, we should be able to see a toast. Where is it? Oh, what have I done? Is this shard cn? Or what have I typed? npx, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why they removed the toast, but let us try this and see. Let us try the npx. It is going to change a couple of things, but not to worry. It will still work. It is taking time. I don't want to use it. If it is taking time, it is going to ruin everything. Don't know why toast is not working. Why is toast not working? But we can put a toast whereby, let's check the old docs. They have the sooner, or they are yet to update it, or I'm ahead of my time. So this is toast. Yeah, this is the thing that I was talking about. You can click and something appears. This is the exact command. Oh, they're using sooner. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. Didn't know. So they're using sooner. Sooner. I thought sooner was meant to that they're bringing the thing very soon. Don't know. So let us add it. There you go. So we can confirm sooner is there. So after sooner is there, so how do you bring? So you have to study how they use it. So this is how they use it. So this is how we put it as toaster. But where do you put the message for that toast? So this is how we put the message for the toast. Amazing. So it works just exactly the same as toast, but they put it inside the sooner. So you just come and copy this. This is very confusing. This is very confusing. But you should not be able to confuse me at all. This is very confusing, but you can see the code, that is what we have. Anyway, let us add it. So we want to add it inside here, or we can just come and add it inside here. So let us come and do it here. So you just come, and what you can do is import. So import toaster. Because when you go to Suna, they are exporting toaster, so don't confuse that. So import toaster from at components UI Suna. Yeah. So how do you use it now? So it is very simple. You just come and put it down here. Come and say toaster. Just like that. So toaster is there. Then how do you trigger it? Remember, these are the things that we want to use. So to trigger it is a bit different. To trigger it, you can just come inside here and study it, how it is being triggered. So let us trigger it. So you can come and say, as you can see here, they're using toast and as well they're using toaster. So we have toast and you have toaster. So you really need to understand that. So you come here and say import. This is the last part, by the way. For those banging their desk with their plates, time for lunch. I can feel it in my bones. Somebody's cursing me at the Suna. Now, this is how we do it. And then to reuse it, it is very simple. We just come and put a message. So immediately after this, you can come and say, after submission, you can say, let us have a toast. So this toast is a feedback that you're giving, like feedback. You can say feedback submitted successfully. Just like that. So this is a toast that people are going to receive as soon as submission is done. Now, let us see if we are just making noise or are we talking about something here. So dev, make sure everything works. So sooner, okay, what are these people saying? Are they installed? No, we have installed it correctly. Okay. You have done it correctly. Don't know why. Let me see. I think it is, you have packet.json. Sooner is there. Let us try and run our UI and see. Okay, there you go. So is it sooner or sooner? Oh, it is sooner, not sooner. Wait. You see? It is sooner. And I'm here trying to, I think it is me getting tired here. It is sooner, not sooner. There you go. Now let us do another one. So then the session was ended well. Ratings 5. Submit. Are you seeing bottom right? Are you seeing bottom right? Are you seeing bottom right? Let's do another one. Watch at the bottom right of your screen. Angela. She's used to saying tutor. Was taking us very fast. Rating 3. Are you seeing bottom right? You see? But it doesn't mean that it has to work on the bottom right. No, it doesn't mean. So you can come and change it. There's a way that you can come and change the direction. You can come and change the direction. If it was appearing bottom, you can change it to appear at the top. that is something that you can go and research on yourself, and then you can have the answers. But there's a way you can be able to change the direction so that instead of appearing at the bottom right, it appears the top left. So you should be able to understand that really, really well. It is something that is very easy, by the way. So that's your homework. Because as you can see ours, if you click here, it appears at the top center. So how is it possible? Because when you come and check, I don't know where that toaster is. That's Sona. So it is called Sona. It is outside there, as you can see. And the entire documentation is available. So you can check the documentation and see how to do styling. Because there's a way that you can be able to change it and appear at the top. Anyway, I believe you guys have understood so far what you have been shrubbing all about. Question time. Thank you, Amos. Even I didn't see that. Somebody saying hot toast. That one works as well. Now, question time. Let me see. I'm pressed. Now, before I come and allow hands to be raised up, just give me a second. I'm back. Raised up hands, where are they? I'm going to take two questions because of time. Two questions. Let me see. Sacred.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yes. Am I audible?
Very audible.
Okay, I just wanted to ask clarification. These Daisy UI, Shadcn, and all those, are they still part of Tailwind?
They use Tailwind. So Tailwind is the parent. They just made the UI interfacing really easy. So they're all using Tailwind.
Okay, okay.
And actually, even most of them they used Shadcn. So Shadcn was the first, and then the rest followed.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Nice. I'm sending the code. Let me answer the Q&A really fast. You mentioned really. So what do you use for your complex projects? I can use what is available and works for me at that time. But most of the time for the UI, I use Next.js. Are you not adding catch? You can do that catching, but it was just a basic class, not complex. If I master this lesson, what I will consider UI UX, UI UX, you have to master prototyping, Figma, and so on. Yeah, React Toast, thank you for that. Amos, display, yeah, don't understand that. What a drill. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Angela. How did you solve the problem validating import alias? Oh, I just added jsconfig.js file. Can see it here. Here it is, this file, and added the compile options. The reason why I use Next.js is because it comes with a lot of things out the box. Share the repo, yeah. Long live Dell, really. Thank you. Apart from showing data, what database ID, the data, we are using indices. I explained that explicitly. Where? Where is it? Here, the list. Can see line 12. So how can we get language plugins? Just browse on the internet, please. You've kind of answered my question. I was going to ask about the plugins, blah blah blah, automatically. Okay, let me get another question. One more question. Raise up your hand. Anthony, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. I have a very brief question. After all this we've used today, we have used ShardCN, we have used Tailwind. At some point, we have touched on JSX and React. That is for front end alone. When will you, like, how or what will you use to combine the front end and the back end? That I want to believe will be creating using Node.js and Express.
Now, that is now week 4, and I'm going to give a preamble on Wednesday during our catch up, which I normally do, if you get that chance. But just to explain what I'll be able to use, on the front end side, I'll be able to use Axios or even Fetch, but Axios is the better one. Axios allows us to tap or to connect backend and frontend together, use it inside the use effect such that we are able to pass the API data back and forth. So Axios is one of the plugins that you're going to use, all the dependencies. So that's the thing that you're going to use. On Wednesday, I'm going to showcase that, combining just the whole. You're going to see how data flows from the UI to the API itself to the database and back and forth, back and forth. And that is going to rubber stamp you as a full stack developer at that time.
Okay, thank you for that. One more question.
Yes.
When we build the front end, we have already seen that is one big code.
Mhm.
Then again come and mix with the backend, or we can develop the backend from somewhere else. And when maybe we deploy, we just use the APIs.
Now, this is how I do it. I normally create a project folder that, let's say I'm talking about PLP management system, right? So I create a directory called PLP management system. Then inside PLP management system, the front end, I'm going to call it front end folder. Like, let me show you, for example, um, I'm going to create a folder here called PLP management system. And then inside here, I can now be able to initialize front end like you have done. Then you're going to have a folder for front end. Let me say front end. And then we are going to do a backend. So when we initialize Express, we are going to have backend. So it's the entire project such that I can go to deploy the entire project as one GitHub, which I can deploy the front end aside and the backend aside. Is that what you are asking?
Yes, that is my question.
Yeah. So that's how we normally do. Even Vercel knows if you connect it, we are going to use Vercel for front end and render for backend. And you're going to see your project out there shining.
Okay, thank you.
So let me push this project. Oh, hey, I'm so tired, but wait. The weekend. I'm going to declare the weekend. Just wait for a minute. On some session. I'm going to declare the weekend. Now we're done with that. So git remote add origin. I used to have shortcuts for this in my other repository, in my other operating systems, but nowadays I don't have. I think they were lost. But I believe you have understood everything that I have said. If you have any question, we can meet on Wednesday. We are in WhatsApp. For those who requested, I'm going to add you. Have not ignored you, so just don't worry. Week 3, hands on. I've not ignored you. Is that as you can see, I've been busy. Okay. Git push origin user main. There you go. Let me share it on the charts. You're going to also find it on the other side. But thank you so much. Welcome to the weekend. Finally, we are here. It is weekend. It is weekend. It is now weekend. Welcome to the weekend, people. Thank you so much. Been amazed, and let us keep grinding. Let us keep coding until we meet again. Bye bye.